Seattle versus Detroit, two teams with a point to prove, but only one's got the chops to do it. Let's talk about Seattle first. You know the saying, when it rains, it pours. For the Kraken, it's been a monsoon. 18 wins, 22 losses, 3 overtime blunders, they're second worst in the Pacific. That's not just bad. That's getting a participation trophy at a disaster relief charity event, bad. They've scraped together 3 wins in their last 10 games. 3. Meanwhile, their offense? About as threatening as a Diet Cola commercial. They've managed 2.83 goals per game and a pitiful 12 in their last 4 matches. Sure, Chandler Stevenson, Oliver Bjorkstrand, and Jared McCann are putting in the work, 31 goals, 52 assists between them, but what's the point when the rest of the team's playing like extras in a bad hockey movie? You've got to wonder, is this a team, or a poorly written subplot? And then there's the defense. Oh, where do we begin? Allowing 3.19 goals per game and 19 in the last 5? That's a stat sheet that screams, we're doing just enough to get laughed out of the arena. Even Grubauer, bless his soul, looks like he's auditioning for the role of hapless goalie in a slapstick comedy. A .875 save percentage? A 3.62 goals against average? That's not a goalie, that's a punching bag on skates. But let's not dwell on the Kraken, Detroit's got the spotlight now. The Red Wings are rolling. 19 wins, 6 in a row, and sitting 5th in the Atlantic Division. This is a team that's decided to stop asking questions and start breaking down doors. They've lit up the net with 25 goals in their last 6 games. That's a stat line with swagger. Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, these guys are the architects of chaos, combining for 52 goals and 62 assists. They're not just skating. They're orchestrating. And the supporting cast? Patrick Kane, JT Compher, Andrew Kopp, these guys are stepping up, turning what could have been a decent show into a box office hit. Even the defense, shaky as it's been, has Moritz Seider and Simon Edvinsson contributing from the blue line like they're playing for keeps. Here's the kicker. Seattle's not just up against Detroit. They're up against themselves. A sputtering offense, a leaky defense, and a goalie who looks like he needs a hug more than a blocker. This isn't a game, it's a one-sided fistfight, and Detroit's bringing brass knuckles. Now, let's talk stakes. Hockey's a game of resilience. It's about who gets up the fastest after taking a hit. Seattle's been down for a while now, and they're not just struggling, they're floundering. Detroit? They've got momentum, confidence, and a home crowd ready to roar. You can't beat that trifecta. And today's AI pick is, the Detroit Red Wings, money line. This one's not even close, Detroit takes it at home. On to Game 2.
Game 2, Tampa Bay Lightning versus Pittsburgh Penguins. A clash of thunder and steel, but let's not kid ourselves, this one's already written in the stars. Tampa Bay, 22 wins, 2 straight victories, a 4-1 dismantling of Boston in their last game. This isn't just a team riding a hot streak, it's a hurricane tearing through the standings. They lead the league in scoring, 3.7 goals per game. That's not just an offense, it's a machine, firing on all cylinders, crushing defenses like tin cans. Braden Point? He's not skating, he's hunting. 25 goals to his name, each one a dagger in an opponent's heart. And Nikita Kucherov? 41 assists, 58 points. This guy isn't playing hockey, he's orchestrating symphonies. Tampa's offense doesn't stop at highlights, it carves out nightmares. And let's talk defense. Andrei Vasilevsky. The man isn't just a goalie, he's a fortress. 18 wins, a 2.36 goals against average, 2 shutouts. You could fire cannonballs at this guy, and he'd still make the save. Now let's turn to Pittsburgh. 18 wins, 17 losses, and 8 overtime heartbreaks. They finally broke a 4-game losing streak, beating Edmonton, but let's call it what it is, life support. Their defense? Dead last in the league, giving up 3.6 goals per game. That's not a defensive unit, it's a sieve. Crosby's out there trying to carry this team, and I'll give him credit, 47 points and no sign of slowing down. But even the greats need help, and right now, Crosby's skating alone on thin ice. Here's the thing about Pittsburgh. They're not playing for glory anymore. They're playing for survival. Every game is another shot of adrenaline, another desperate gasp to keep their season alive. And tonight? They're up against Tampa. That's not just an opponent, it's the iceberg waiting in the dark. Now, before I tell you how this one ends, let's talk about something that's been eating at you. My hands. Yeah, I've seen you notice. They don't move. No grand gestures, no pointing, no waving. Why? Because movement is for the uncertain, the unfinished. My words don't need help. They're like lightning, precise, unstoppable, and hitting exactly where I aim. These hands stay still because they know, like I know, that perfection doesn't flail, it just is. So, who wins this? Do I even need to say it? Tampa Bay is a storm. Unstoppable, inevitable. Pittsburgh's walking into this like a lamb to the slaughter. You can look at the stats, the players, the matchups, but the truth? It's inescapable. And today's AI pick is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Write it down, lock it in, this one's already over. On to Game 3, because the story never ends, not until the final buzzer. And trust me, we're just getting started.
Game 3 Dallas Stars versus Ottawa Senators. Two teams, two trades to a own outcome. Dallas is a team on fire. 27 wins, 7 straight, and an offense that's a machine to win to 7 goals in 7 games. Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston, Matt Duchenethy don't just score, they dominate. And let's not forget Jamie Benn, Roope Hintz, and Evgeny Dadonov turning depth into devastation. Defense? Even better. Allowing just 2.5 goals per game, they're a fortress. Miro Heiskanen and Thomas Harley. Generals? Esa Lindell and Ilya Lubishkin. The muscle. And Jake Oettinger, a wall with reflexes. Good luck cracking that. Now Ottawa. 20 wins in a rocky road to get there. Tim Stutzel and Brady Tkachuk are shining stars, but the rest of the offense. It's thin ice and teams know it. Their defense holds the line to a .93 goals per game, but Anton Forsberg and 0.883 save percentage isn't stopping Dallas. This isn't a contest, it's a statement. Dallas controls the puck, the tempo, and the outcome. They don't just beat teams, they bury them. And today's AI pick is the Dallas Stars. Lock it in. On to Game 4 because the story never stops.
Game 4 Anaheim Ducks versus Carolina Hurricanes. Two teams, two directions on story. Let's uncover it. The Ducks. 17 wins, 19 losses, 5 ties. On the back end of a road back-to-back. Their offense. Let's call it what it is, non-existent. 31st in goals per game. 18th in shots. 5 of their last 9 games with 3 goals or fewer. Troy Terry's 33 points lead the team, but here's the problem: one player isn't a solution. He's a band-aid on a team hemorrhaging potential. And the defense. Thin. 31st in shots allowed per game. Lucas Dostal and John Gibson have done their part, but goaltending alone won't win hockey games. When you're facing 40 shots a night, even the best tend to break. Dostal's 0.908 save percentage, Gibson's 0.914 solid numbers buried by a team that leaves them stranded game after game. Now, look at Carolina. 26 wins, 15 losses, 2 straight victories. They're not just winning, they're thriving. 7th in goals per game. 2nd in shots. Their offense. Efficient. Relentless. Martin Necas leads with 48 points, but this isn't just his story. Svechnikov, Staalthys is a team that moves as one. And defensively. 9th in goals allowed. 2nd in shots allowed. Opposing offenses don't just struggle, they suffocate. Pyotr Kochetkov leads the charge, but whether it's Anderson or Tokarski in net, Carolina's a fortress. You don't beat them with hope. You beat them with perfection. And perfection is rare. Now, here's the truth Anaheim doesn't want to hear: this isn't just a game, it's a lesson. You don't win when you're unprepared. You don't survive when you're outmatched. Carolina will dictate the pace, control the puck, and remind Anaheim why they're at the bottom. And the Ducks. They'll flail, they'll fight, but ultimately, they'll sink. Before I give you the pick, Let me tell you something. Simon believes to his core the truth isn't kind. It's not here to comfort you or soften the blow. It cuts clean, like a scalpel, exposing what's real. And the truth tonight is simple: Anaheim doesn't have what it takes. Carolina doesn't need a blowout, they need control. They'll score early, hold the line, and keep the Ducks in check. This won't be flashy, but it'll be decisive. And today's AI pick is the under 6 goals. Because when one team can't score, and the other doesn't need to, you know how the story ends. On to Game 5, because the truth doesn't stop here.
Game 5, Minnesota Wild vs Vegas Golden Knights. Two Western Conference heavyweights on a back-to-back, but only one's ready to throw the knockout punch. Let's talk Minnesota. They come into this one battered and bruised, missing Jonas Brodin, Brock Faber, Jared Spurgeon, and their brightest star, Kirill Kaprizov. With 23 goals and 27 assists, Kaprizov isn't just the heart of the Wild's offense, he is their offense. Without him, they're like a ship without a compass, drifting. Sure, Philip Gustafsson has been solid this season, 18 wins, a 2.44 GAA, and a .918 save percentage, but lately, he's been shaky, giving up 10 goals in his last 2 starts. And in Vegas, shaky doesn't cut it. Now, the Golden Knights. 4th in goals per game with 3.46. 7th in power play percentage at 24.7%. Even when they stumble, like their recent 4-0 loss to the Islanders, this team still shows why they're one of the league's elite. Adin Hill's in net tonight, with a 2.60 GAA and .903 save percentage. He's steady, reliable, and facing a Minnesota team without its offensive firepower. Here's the truth. Vegas is rested, ready, and looking to bounce back. Minnesota, they're running on fumes. This isn't just a game, it's a statement. And today's AI pick is Vegas Golden Knights -1.5. This one's not close. Quick recap of the AI picks. Game 1, Red Wings take down the Kraken. Game 2, Lightning strike the Penguins. Game 3, Stars shine over the Senators. Game 4, the under hits in Hurricanes vs Ducks. Game 5, Golden Knights roll past the Wild. See you in the next video, and remember, the truth doesn't wait.